Welcome back to Storyrant. I'm your host, Cosmic Horror Madman Eric Malachite, and I'm joined by Karl Smallwood of Fact Fiend. Today I found out all sorts of stuff, Wiki Weekends, which you should definitely subscribe to, and more. And we are going to attempt to discuss the brand new FX series, Alien Earth. And I know you're all itching to talk about this, because it's going to be coming out pretty soon. We both watched the first teaser trailer, and in doing so, I've also seen a half dozen deepfakes as well, and we're going to give you our thoughts, speculation, and of course, our criticisms. So, go ahead and deploy your likes, comment your favorite thing about the Alien franchise, like, subscribe, ring that bell, and all that jazz, and let's get into it. Karl, thanks for joining me. I guess by now you really don't need to introduce yourself, but go ahead and do it anyway.
Yeah, I'm Karl Smallwood. I make content online. That's an in-joke. I don't normally make in-jokes. That one is quite funny.
Yeah.
But he's not too inside, because small one.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, I make content. I like the Alien. I brought along some props to show how much I like the Alien, both as a series and a concept. I have my Alien quadrilogy, the Blu-ray quadrilogy, which has like all the documentaries on it, which is where I got a bunch of content ideas from, because you have like Giga talking about, I made the Alien just to piss off Catholics. That's quite fun. I have like my Alien toys. This is the Panther Alien. But I also like the bad Alien stuff, because I also have stuff like Predator Cold War.
Oh.
Which is set in the Alien vs. Predator universe and is about the Predator going to Antarctica before Alien vs. Predator was a thing.
Okay. All right. Sure,
I collect some nonsense. So it's like I like collecting things that no one else has or seldom seen. So, for example, I also have a Cowboy Bebop book, but it's based on the Netflix series.
Oh, no.
I also own the
Karl?
novelization of Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within. So that's the kind of things that I collect. So I love Alien because I love both the good stuff and the not so good stuff.
Yeah, and I totally get that. I mean, obviously, everyone on this channel knows where I stand with Alien. It's one of my favorite films ever. It seeded a lot of my obsession with cosmic horror, because it's got the immaculate cosmic horror vibes. But to jump into the prequel series, Alien Earth, as I said, it is yet another prequel story set before the original 1979 Alien film. It takes place 27 years after Prometheus and 2 years before the original film. The showrunner is Noah Hawley. Haley? I don't know. I don't know who this guy is. I'm looking at his filmography, and he's done mostly TV shows. So the new Fargo series and Legion is what he's done before. But he was a writer on Bones and an executive producer. So he likes Bones.
That show sucks. I love Bones. The Bone anime. Who doesn't want to watch the skeleton anime?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, Bones is great.
Bones
the
is
gimmick
great?
the gimmick is every episode they find a skeleton, and then Bones has to find out why it's a skeleton. And it ran for like 11 seasons. And by the 10th season, they're finding skeletons inside of chocolate bars. So I refer to it as like the skeleton anime. It's fantastic.
That's amazing.
In like, that just schlocky way. You know what? I wouldn't mind if the Alien series was schlocky. I wouldn't mind if they just got a guy in a rubber alien costume and just had him like throwing rubber facehuggers at people for like 10 episodes. But it's not going to be that, is it? It's going to be serious.
No, it's going to be
threatening.
serious. I mean, you've seen the teaser trailer.
Yes, so. I also, like yourself, saw a bunch of deepfake trailers, and I'm sure Hollywood loves that. I'm sure they love that when I Google Alien Earth. The result before the actual trailer from the company who put it out is a deepfake. And it did get me, and I watched like 30 seconds of it and went, oh, fuck, it's one of them.
I think I did the same exact fucking thing.
I don't understand how they're allowed to exist and like why movie studios haven't cracked down on that shit. But yeah, I watched it. That's certainly a trailer for some Alien.
I wonder if it's just because, a lot of these studio execs are kind of in love with AI and want to replace artists to a certain degree, that could be part of it, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's transformative or something. No idea.
I think
why
it's
they
just
let that
there's
shit
too much
happen.
of it.
Yeah,
It's too easy to make. It's like reaction content, right? If you look for a trailer, you're most likely to find someone reacting to the trailer before you'll find the official trailer. It's too easy to make, and as a result, there's just an endless glut of it.
Right.
It's like a hydra almost.
Yeah, and not just that, but like, fan trailers have been nothing new. So like, I'm kind of against all the AI stuff just because it is a plagiarism machine. If you're gonna make a fan trailer, you better work for it.
Make one with toys,
right? That would be
just get your little toy and like making like alien noises. It's great.
If any of you in the audience want to make a trailer and you have a bunch of Alien toys, go ahead and make one. Post it in the comments, and at some point when Karl comes back and we do Alien again, we'll show him the trailer or some shit.
I love the Alien toys because that's one of the reasons
Right?
why I'm like we approached like the series from different directions. I'm like a fan of the alien as a creature. I just think it looks really cool. Obviously, I understand all the symbolism and stuff like that, but sometimes just you want to see a cool alien run around on a spaceship. He's just alien Jason Voorhees if you want to approach it like that. And so I collected all the toys as a kid, and I would love to have like one of the giant, like super detailed like play arts aliens and like pose it next to like Hatsune Miku or something like that. But they cost like
That would be funny.
$400.
That would be funny. So the blurb for the series, which comes from Deadline, is when a space vessel crash lands on Earth, a young woman and a ragtag group of tactical soldiers make a discovery that puts them face to face with the planet's biggest threat. And so what do you think about that premise? Pretty standard, right?
It's like, as far as Alien goes, it's quite unique. I don't think I've heard an Alien film about a lady and a bunch of soldiers attacking or being attacked by aliens. So
Yeah.
they're breaking new ground
brand new.
with that format.
You know,
The thing about it, I knew it was going to be generic the moment I heard it announced. Like, they're not going to have what we all want. Well, what I want, and I want. Like, this is called the Panther Alien. And it's like from that series of toys that were based on, hey, what about if an alien jumped inside of a gorilla, a scorpion, a rhinoceros, and they just got artists to go buck wild with it? We're not going to have that because, one, that cost a fortune, two, it's too silly.
Yeah. And in my notes, I just have, Karl, I know you have thoughts about this for the whole crossing with animals and stuff, but it's a decent opportunity at least to have a couple of different variations, because if you treat it seriously enough, it could be terrifying because this is like a new evolution of the alien and whatnot. I mean, we had one in Alien 3 that was based on a dog, right?
Yes, the runner alien. And
the runner,
in Alien. And that's one of the cool things about the Alien. It's adaptive. And they could have, if they wanted to, made a new Alien in every movie, series, or prequel or spin-off. Like, just by definition, it can change every time.
Yeah.
And the fact that they always go back to making it look like it did in the original movie, it's like, but we already had that alien. Can we have a new alien? Can we have a gorilla alien?
But I will say that it is... I would like if they kept the biomechanical stuff from the original, if one of the reasons why it's able to adapt this way is because of some biomechanical process or something, because that makes it look a little freakier, I think.
And I probably know way more about this than I should, and my knowledge of like the alien as a species is based on I've read all the books, I've played too many of the games. They're all terrible. But they are, and none of that stuff's really touched upon in like the core 4 movies. We don't have much of that, say for the runner alien with the dog. But the games do establish that there is a whole, like, just wild selection of aliens. Like, for example, in one of the games, there's a species of alien that exists to carry face huggers, and it throws face huggers. And the only reason that exists is because it was in an RTS game, and we need a way for the aliens to have artillery.
Right.
So they just designed an alien that throws other aliens, and it's never turned up in anything else ever again. Yeah.
It's very Zerg. I kind of love that, though.
Yeah. I like the creativity that can be afforded by such a just malleable idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Whether it be
I
for
agree
schlock
with
or for
that.
horror.
But, unfortunately, because of tariffs, tariffs are really threatening the toy industry right now. So we in the U.S. might not see any of those designs, if there are any in this show, in plastic form. But you in the UK, in China and elsewhere, you'll probably get some of those toys if they do.
I can't wait for them to go on sale. Right. Every time there's like a new Alien thing, I'm like, I can't wait for that to go on sale.
Yeah.
Because they always go on sale. They cost way, way, way too much money.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, toys are going to cost way, way too much money in general because all that shit's made overseas. And, we're not going to get into all that, but that's going to suck for collectors. All right. So as much as people talk about how bad sequels tend to be, it's even harder to write a good prequel story, let alone 3 or 4 of them. Yes, Ridley Scott is thinking about finishing his trilogy of Prometheus films. I can count on one hand how many prequels are successful. Some of them are books. Some of them, I don't know. Yeah, it's having the alien on Earth is pretty much nothing new, too, right? It was one of the concepts for Alien 3.
Yeah, like the original teaser trailer, the infamous teaser trailer that lied, had just an alien egg turn into the Earth, and then just Alien 3. And then they never acknowledged it ever again. There was even that infamous like Pepsi commercial, where it's clearly set on Earth, and it's where the alien is chasing some teenagers, and then they have to scare the alien away by giving it some Pepsi. And then that never got referenced ever again.
Yeah, it's, and so what I saw was Sigourney Weaver talking about how tons of people would hand in scripts that were based on Earth for Alien 3, and she'd just veto them all. Apparently she had veto power, which makes sense. She's Sigourney Weaver.
It makes sense.
But she was just like, the idea is not very original.
It's also stupid. There's no real way to write that when every previous bit of Alien media has established that if there is one alien, whatever planet that alien is on is like it's fucked. Like she herself in character says, like, well, like the aliens have taken over. Like it's Hadley's Hope, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what should we do? Nuke it from orbit.
Yeah,
it's done. Like if there's one alien in there, all those people are dead. Nuke it from orbit. The idea that they could land on Earth with the multitude of life forms that we have, when they've established that the alien can take over any organic life form to like proliferate, is laughable. Unless they land in like the desert.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure how you're going to write it when like the alien is unkillable. The only way they've ever been able to make the alien feel threatening, or at least keep the idea that humans might stand a chance, is by setting it inside an enclosed area where there's hope that they might stop the infection from spreading. I'm not sure how you do that on Earth, unless they set it somewhere where they can't get out.
Yeah, they're extremely fast. They're extremely violent. You land in a populated city. That city's fucking done. And this is going to cause a lot of problems, too, because the original Alien, like, how do you set this up? How do you make this make sense? Why not just make it take place after Alien 3? It makes no sense why you would make this a prequel. Like, I hope they know what they're doing, but most of the time we saw with Romulus. Romulus was very pretty to look at, but it was kind of vapid. Like the characters were kind of sketches.
Yeah, it's very clearly just aping elements that were popular in early movies with just a shiny lick of paint, it was fun, like rewatching it.
Yeah.
It's it's like Ian Holm turned back up. Well, I'm glad his family got paid.
Yeah, yeah. Now
I don't know why
I was talking about
that
with Charles, because we both rewatched the film for I think last week's episode that I recorded with him, and it's like that story would have been served much better if we had longer to get to know the crew or the cast, the teenagers, or what have you. Show us why the world is so fucked.
I like that idea. Yeah, I did like the thing of like Weyland Yutani just has an entire planet of effectively just indentured, like,
Yeah.
just mining slaves because they're fucking evil. It's like very 40k almost.
Yeah,
of
40K,
just
it's
humans as a
very
resource.
cyberpunk. It matches up with the original Alien as well. The company being just like fucking not concerned whatsoever about the safety of their workers. You know?
Yeah. And I did like it, and then they just remade the first Alien movie. But because they had spent 40 minutes until they got onto a ship, they had to condense the first Alien movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there was another
Which is-
Alien movie before the new Alien movie, you know,
Yeah.
involving Big Chap, which is
Yes.
funny. But, you know, it's kind of this problem where the cinematography also looks beautiful in
That's the thing.
Alien
It's
Earth.
hard to criticize. Yeah. Oh, I was going to say in Romulus.
In the
It's hard
trailer,
to
in the
criticise
trailer too. Like the trailer looks really good, and it's clear that they figured out how to make this shit look really good without you know, breaking the bank, you know, so to speak. Because Romulus was a cheap film. It was made originally for Hulu.
Well, yeah, you just need a guy in an alien costume, some no-name actors, because they're going to fucking die anyway, who gives a shit. Go find a leaky warehouse, put some bullshit in there, done.
There you have an Alien movie.
It doesn't need to be much more complex than that. It's a slasher movie. The alien, like, you can... I know you
I
like
mean,
the cosmic
yeah,
horror
yeah.
elements, but at their core, thematically, they're just slasher movies, with the slasher being an alien.
Yeah, what it has become, yeah. But, I mean, Alien could be so much more than what it is now. But, you know, I don't think we're going to get anything like that. You know, I don't think we're going to get anything profound or new or anything. It's a prequel. It can't be profound and new because it would change what's in Alien and Aliens, right? And,
Yeah, like,
you know, I've got people
my prediction is
in
it's just
my
got Rogue One it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just they're obviously going to nuke it from orbit, and every character is going to be completely meaningless because
Yeah.
it can't touch the core canon because they don't want it to, and fans would revolt if it did.
Yeah, and like I don't understand this. Like I get it to a certain extent. Though they don't want to touch where the sequels are because they weren't popular, but neither were the prequels. The prequels were in some ways more controversial than Alien 3 or Resurrection in some areas, right?
Resurrection is fine if you watch it as a schlocky action movie,
Yeah.
and it has some absolutely terrible performances which make it a good watch. So I'd much rather watch Alien Resurrection than I would Alien 3. Because Alien 3 tried, and that makes it more embarrassing. Whereas they knew what they were doing with Alien Resurrection. It's like, just, what do you want? 500 aliens? Got it. Done.
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver's going to play basketball. Ron Perlman's going to shoot a spider.
Yeah, but you know, Alien 3 is just depressing from start to finish, and
It has
like,
such an
look,
oppressive atmosphere.
Yeah. And while that could have been interesting, I don't feel like they did enough to make those characters stand out. Like, there's a lot of writing in Alien 3 that just feels like generic action lines from the 90s, you know?
Yeah. And there's some elements I like. I like the idea that the alien, and it's never outright stated, makes people go crazy. And you can read that as the alien's presence caused people to go insane, a la cosmic horror, or just, well, it's a fucking alien and it's scary. Of course the guy's going to flip out.
Right.
And panic. And you never know for sure what that is.
Right. Yeah, no, I like that. I always like the idea that, I don't know how much you know about the Cthulhu mythos, but Dan O'Bannon's original idea was that the alien was connected to Yog-Sothoth. I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, because Yog-Sothoth is supposed to be like the connective tissue of the universe. And have like that could explain like the black goo idea and stuff that Gibson originally had, you know, thinking that it's simultaneously this weird cosmic substance that, you know, brings life and also has something to do with Yog-Sothoth is really badass and yet spreads like a virus. That's very cosmic horror, and yet you could play it both ways, you know. You like a lot of cosmic horror, people think that it's, you know, like a Reanimator or something like that. But no, it can be very subtle too. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think that it's going to be weird because they're going to, for the first time, I think, since Prometheus, establish what Earth looks like, what the condition of Earth is. And, like, if Earth looks like a paradise, I think that's weird. Like, I was talking to...
It can't, because Alien Resurrection, right? When they're on the way back to Earth, and like, where are we going? Earth. And Ron Perlman just says, what a shithole.
Yeah, but isn't that further in the timeline?
To be fair, that is 200
right.
years or so into the future, after Walmart took over the Earth, which I think is
But
funny.
in Prometheus, the Earth is, like, pristine. Like, we're getting shots of these beautiful landscapes and whatnot. And, you know, I was telling C.T. Phipps last week that I really think Earth needs to be jacked up. You know, there was this rumor a while back that the Alien universe and the Blade Runner universe were kind of intertwined, and that doesn't make a whole lot of sense because, you know, replicants and androids don't match up 100% between the two franchises, but I can imagine an Earth like that, like in Blade Runner, that is, you know, absolutely polluted to shit, being the Earth in the Alien universe, because, you know, this is a mega corporation that is just, you know, does whatever the fuck it wants, you know.
It makes more sense. Like, the Earth being, like, a pristine utopia doesn't really make sense when Weyland-Yutani is not a company that seems to care all that much about the human cost of anything it's doing, which is kind of like the core theme of the movie. One of the core themes of the movie, isn't it? Of just, capitalism will ruin us all. Of, hey, just... we're transporting this, like, fucking alien. This is dangerous. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit if, like, 8 people died? Do you have any idea how much that alien's worth? More than 8 people.
Yeah. Yeah. And not only that, but, like, the desperation to find a new paradise planet feels less impactful if the Earth is still habitable, and like, not just habitable, but a nice place to live, you know?
Yeah, like the idea of humans needing to go out into the cosmos to terraform, like, meteorites filled with aliens doesn't really make much sense if Earth is already fine. Like,
yeah,
you kind of need Earth to be shit to give humans that push to go out into the stars.
I mean, you know,
none of the people in the universe are traveling for altruistic means. They don't want to explore the cosmos just for the sake of exploring it. They want to explore it to mine it for resources.
I mean, these people have faster than light travel too, you know? I mean, what's going to threaten Earth if Earth is in good shape? You know, short of the sun turning into a red giant, probably not much. You know, you can handle any asteroid or comet that comes your way, you know.
Yeah. What about if there's an alien on it? What about if it's just an alien? That's the thing as well. I'm like, cause I really like just the alien as a creature, and I think to when I watched Alien Romulus with my dad, and my dad's like me, where sometimes he just likes to turn his brain off, and like the 45-minute mark in Alien Romulus, when the alien turns up, my dad just nudged me and went, "That's an alien." And sometimes I just want to watch TV just like, that's an alien. Well, it's an alien. Because you know it's going to be, you know it's going to turn up, you know it's going to be awesome. It's like that moment in The Simpsons, right, where you see the alien. It's like, well, that guy's not done anything yet, and you know when he does, it's going to be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I put on a really stupid UFO documentary the other day because I needed something mindless. And it was produced by George Knapp, and he's done like some coast to coast stuff, but he's less crazy than most UFO people. But it was fun to just sit there and like make fun of the show as it was going. You know, sometimes you just need something like that isn't consequential. You know, isn't this huge piece of artwork, or you know.
It's the thing I like about examining media, where if you get to the point where you like to deconstruct and critique media, it allows you to just rewatch stuff multiple ways. Like, you can rewatch it in the turning off your brain just to see the moments that you recognize again, or you can watch it to try and spot stuff that you missed, or try and break down how or why things work. And the Alien series is great for that because it varies so wildly in quality.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree with that. I always find Alien 3 is the harder watch among all those things. Like, for Resurrection, you could just kind of turn your brain off and laugh. You know,
Alien Resurrection,
Ron Perlman and like Sigourney Weaver is so entertaining in that movie.
Because she was having so much fun. Like, never forget that Sigourney Weaver made that shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
She made that shot, and for that reason, it's awesome. Also, like, just some of the little character moments is as like thinly, like, not thinly veiled, but as like paper thin as those characters are. They are kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like,
they're like the proto Firefly characters.
Yeah. I also absolutely adore the running theme in Alien of scientists thinking they can control the alien and then immediately getting killed by the alien. It's funny every time.
Yeah.
Every time it happens,
the one scene in Resurrection that is like legitimately terrifying is the one where they have all the people in the tubes in front of the eggs. Like, that is legitimately terrifying and cruel.
The idea that they're just shipping people in to use them as like human guinea pigs, essentially.
Yeah. But speaking of Romulus that we were talking about earlier, the cast for this screws. Let's not go there. The cast skews really young. Other than Timothy Oliphant, who was in the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film and Terminator Zero, which you guys should absolutely watch. It's fantastic. We've got like Alex Lothar, who was in The End of the Fucking World for Netflix, Sydney Chandler, who I'm not familiar with, but a bunch of other young-looking actors around them who look like they get like top billing. So, like, are these soldiers kind of kids? You know, because like Alex Lothar looked really young in The End of the Fucking World. So, like, and he still looks young. Yeah. And it's kind of reminded me of Romulus in that area, too, where we're looking at a bunch of younger folks to make this story work. So, like, is there a mining colony on Earth, too?
Okay, I just looked at who Alex Lothar is. It's like, it is the same guy I'm thinking of. He's a great actor.
Yeah, he is.
He'll probably do a great role. But I'm thinking, like, just double check his age. Age right now, say he's like 29. I imagine, like, let's look. I bet, how old was Sigourney Weaver in the first Alien?
28. I looked it up before this.
Okay, so it's not that they're young. It's just that people in the 80s looked a lot and 70s looked older than they do now.
Yeah.
So they're the same
after all
age
the
as
shit
Sigourney
that we're
Weaver
going
was.
through worldwide, we'll all look extremely old too. You know.
So it's not even that. It's like the cast isn't skewing younger. It's just that people look younger nowadays. It's one of those things that gets harder as you get older, right? If you'll see an actor who's like 29, like Alex Lothar, oh, he's just a kid. It's like, nope.
Yeah. It's and plus people in Hollywood, you know, they have access to all these skincare routines, you know. They're able to plastic surgery and everything to keep themselves youthful forever. Essentially.
Yeah. I'm interested though to just see, like, you know, Alex Lothar has been in quite a few things, but he's never had his big break. But every time I've seen him in anything, he's always been absolutely amazing. Like, The End of the Fucking World is fantastic.
It is.
He's great in that. Like, he's in the best episode of Black Mirror. He's like one of the standout parts of Andor.
Which season was he in Black Mirror? I don't remember that episode.
He's in Shut Up and Dance.
Okay, I'll check. I'll have to rewatch that, or if that's in.
It's the episode where
6.
people get real. People really don't like that episode.
Oh, really?
Because it's the most gut punch of gut punch endings. Like, I believe it's Charlie Brooker, who writes Black Mirror. He describes the endings to Black Mirror as shotgun to the gut, not punch to the gut, because they completely just put you on your ass. And that's the one where it's a Shut Up and Dance. If you've not seen it, I'm not going to spoil it. Just go watch it.
All right.
Alex Lothar's performance is fantastic.
Fantastic. All right. So yeah, I'm not like excited for this, and it's going to be interesting to see where everyone's at in the comments, because like we're not hearing a whole lot about this. We got the teaser trailer, and I haven't seen a lot of people talking about this just yet. I mean, FX series tend to be on a higher end as far as like cinematography and stuff goes, but like we'll have to see. I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
I'm excited. I want to see some Alien.
Yeah. I mean, as
Like
far
I said,
as that
I
goes,
can turn my
yeah.
brain off. Like I said, I played all the games, read all the crap books, and just if they're just going to whack an alien in there, chasing some people around, I'll be happy with that. If it's good quality and decent cinematography, even better. But just I want to see the alien running around. It's kind of like Sigourney Weaver in a way. Have you heard about that? Where every time they asked her to be in one of those like Alien versus Predator movies, she's like, no. When like her stated reason is, well, the alien losers, fuck that. She just likes the alien. It's like, you know what? It's like Terminator for me. Terminator 2 still exists, so the shittier the Terminator sequel, the better. Let's fucking go.
Right. Yeah. I mean, have you seen Terminator Zero?
I have not. No. Is it
that
bad?
it's good. It's actually good.
I'm glad that it's good, but I'd kind of like if it was bad.
I mean, Dark Fate was pretty bad.
Dark Fate is amazing because just Dark Fate. I think the reason why you can single out why it sucks ass. So when I say it's amazing, I mean amazing in a bad way. I mean like you can watch it like a beer and be like, aha, this is terrible. I love it.
Right.
And it's summed up by one interaction with apparently it was Arnold Schwarzenegger suggested this, where people don't know in Dark Fate a Terminator comes back like 10 seconds after the end of Terminator 2. A Terminator walked in and shot John Connor in the face. That Terminator then fucked off, married a lady, and got a job. And it was Arnold Schwarzenegger's idea that he's a drape salesman. So when they asked the Terminator, "Oh, what do you do?" He's like, "I sell drapes." Why is he not an ex-Terminator? They missed the most obvious fucking setup of, what are you? I'm an ex-Terminator. Ex-Terminator. And I don't know if I'm mad that they didn't put that in. Because, like, and that's I can't. Did they not put that in because they weren't smart enough to think of it? Or they don't put it in because it's too obvious? And with the rest of the film being so shit, I think it's just they didn't think of that very obvious joke.
Yeah. And now
so
James Cameron
what do you do?
is thinking
I'm
about
an
going back to the well again. You know, it's just like, let it die. Or if you're gonna do the thing, do it like Terminator Zero, where every I'm not sure how much I should say because you haven't seen it just yet, but basically it has a lot to do with how Japan thinks of time travel versus how we think of it. So we think about the grandfather paradox, and in Japan, their physicists are more like, no, it's more than likely going to create an alternate timeline. Each time you go back in time, it doesn't change your future, it changes an alternate past, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, I still keep up with theoretical physics and stuff, so there was a new study that comes out and that it seems to support determinism, which is that, timelines, you can't change the timeline. Our timeline is fixed. If you travel back in time, the timeline will work to correct itself. So if you go back in time and try to kill Hitler, another Hitler will take his place, or someone like him, so that those events that are kind of like, if you watch Doctor Who, it would be like a fixed point in time or something like that. But yeah, they have a very different philosophy, and you see that in Dragon Ball, where when Trunks goes back in time, it creates another timeline, and there's real math on like Dr. Brief's and Bulma's freaking computer screens and stuff. Like that's not bullshit math, that's real math in the show.
And I can appreciate that for the Terminator franchise, but at the same time, I want to see Terminators punch things. Yeah, because I think they should be bad. They should make bad spin-offs and sequels to these things until they learn. Just make something new. Because the problem is if they make something good, it just emboldens them to keep trying. Yeah, let the thing fucking die. And it's like every time they like make a half decent sequel, prequel, creative reset. Have you heard about this? For the Halloween series, they're referring to the next Halloween movie as a creative reset because they've run out of things to call it. It's like, just make something new. Yeah.
Now, I agree.
So I want it to be bad.
Like, while I like to talk about these franchises because they're good, they're good examples of what to do and what not to do, right? Oh yeah. When you're approaching your own projects, if you're gonna make a film or a horror film, it's good to examine what's worked in the past. most people who are going into film, if you're creating a horror film for the first time, you're not going to be working on something as grandiose as Alien, But there are a lot of lessons right now being taught, basically, in indie Hollywood right now, or in indie horror in general. Like, there's a lot of dreamlike imagery. Have you seen The Substance?
It's been on my list for a while.
It's so good. Maybe move that up, because
it was a friend of mine who I watch horror movies with, but we're halfway through the Lord of the Rings trilogy at the moment. And we need to carve out 4.5 hours to watch the final Lord of the Rings movie before we can move on to anything else.
But yeah, I highly recommend that. But even stuff like Longlegs, which is a little bit more mainstream, I guess, and like everything that is not connected to a franchise has these liminal spaces, these dreamlike images and whatnot in their cinematography. It adds something to the filmmaking, and it's really interesting to see this trend start. But franchise films are kind of stuck in the past in some ways. A lot of them feel very corporate. If you look at the cinematography between Terminator 2 and 3 and Dark Fate, there's like a downgrade slope,
Yeah, it's because the auteurs who originally created those things just stopped giving a shit, and they just hand them off to a journeyman like filmmaker who their only stated goal is to just make people remember the previous thing, right? It's the member berries. It's like Romulus, it was really interesting right up until Ian Holm turns up, and it's like, you already had a fantastic actor who can portray an android. Probably one of the best android performances I've seen.
Yeah.
Like, I think the dude who plays the android in Romulus is better than Michael Fassbender.
I believe
playing
his
an
name
android.
is David Johnson.
There we go, David Johnson. Like, did a fantastic role. You didn't need Ian Holm.
No.
You didn't need to bring an actor back from the dead to reference the first thing. References can be more subtle than that. And that's my frustration with it, of every time they almost approach greatness, they have to go back and put the member berries. It's like the Halloween series of, it goes off a fucking cliff, that new trilogy. And they were this close to doing something interesting with the idea of creating a new Michael Myers, and they literally just bring Michael Myers back in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, that sucks.
Because they can't do anything interesting, because they're hamstrung by executives who are like, well, put the thing in that people know.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with
interesting.
all of the lines that constantly get recycled. And instead of creating new badass lines, we have to have the android who has been making dad jokes throughout the whole film do something so out of character, because like he doesn't curse once except for get away from her, you bitch. Right?
And you can tell the actor almost didn't want to give the line.
Right.
That line read is the most awkward line read in the entire film. You didn't need to put that in.
No, you didn't.
You could have just had him say, stay away from her. And it would have been really in character if he said, stay away from her, and then said, if he didn't say bitch, he said something else.
Yeah.
Or just him saying, stay away from her.
Or he should have told a dad joke before,
So
mind
if I drop in?
You established.
Yeah, mind if I drop in, drops in on the alien.
Yeah.
Right?
Just something that is tied to that character, because it makes sense for Sigourney Weaver's character to say, get away from her, you bitch. But it's a different dynamic between Andy and Rain. It makes me wonder what actor we're gonna recycle for fucking Alien Earth. Like, who's it gonna be?
Well, Lance Henriksen's still
Bishop.
going, right? Yeah, Lance Henriksen's still going. He'll get a cameo. He wants a paycheck. And that's my issue with it. Of like, that's perfectly sums it up. Of like, the stay away from her, you bitch. He didn't, like, the character didn't need to say that.
Yeah,
but it exists so people in the cinema go, do you know what that's a reference? Yes, we all know what it's a reference to.
Yes. Yes.
I hate when they pretend stuff like that, or they act like stuff like that is stuff you wouldn't recognise. Like, I recently rewatched, I think I was getting clips of the RoboCop reboot for something I'm making. And just one of the comments, like, at some point in the film, someone says, I wouldn't buy that for $1. Half the comments on that clip, people going, you might not know this, but that's a reference to the original Of course it's... We know!
That shit's all over I think every single RoboCop film and TV series. Like...
And it makes it really funny for me because in the context of the RoboCop universe, that is a joke that is not funny and is done to death.
Yeah.
Like, it's a meta commentary on just, like, repeating the same thing not being funny. And
it makes it funny in the process, but yeah.
Yeah. Like, the meta commentary, like, it's funny in the context of the movie because it's such a bad, unfunny joke that it becomes funny, that all the characters think it's this hilarious punchline.
Yeah.
And then every RoboCop thing after that first movie references it as if it's a funny reference, which is kind of meta, and I guess Paul Verhoeven would find it funny.
Yeah, I think he would.
It's like his great quote about like Starship Troopers, isn't it? The purported quote from him of, "I'm going to make the symbolism so fucking obvious, it's going to beat you over the head, that it will infuriate the people who get it when people don't."
Oh, yeah. One of these days, we gotta have a discussion on RoboCop.
Hell yeah.
I mean, yeah. I used to have that shirt.
RoboCop, let's go. I love RoboCop.
Yeah. That's such a good poster, too. So good. All right, so I think we've pretty much run out of things to talk about when it comes to Alien Earth. We still don't know a whole lot.
That's the thing. It's like,
yeah.
It's just a trailer to go off of, so it's only vibes, and the vibes seem quite good at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to watch it because I like the Alien.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what all of us are going to do. But it's going to be interesting. We're going to have plenty to talk about, for sure.
Yeah.
One way or another.
I don't care about the lore or the canon because it's been shit on so much. That's these long-running franchises. Every time there's a new thing, there's always the hyperbolic YouTube headline of this ruins the canon or the lore. It's like, it was already ruined.
Yeah.
Just like, in any long-running franchise, just pick and choose the things that you like, and you're fine. Like, just go watch these. Like, even like in the core 4 movies, people just discount the 4th one.
Yeah.
And just say, well, Alien, for me, is just Alien 1 and 2. Right?
Yeah.
Just do that.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I mean,
pick and choose. Choose your own adventure.
So I've been reading the Alien tabletop RPG, and it's a pretty good game. From what I can tell so far, I haven't run it yet. But it tries to mash all the world building from Prometheus to the first Alien and Aliens all together, and some of it works and some of it really doesn't. I think it's probably the most cohesive way to do that, but if I were to run it, I would have my own lore. I wouldn't want to include all the stuff from Prometheus or Covenant because I hate those movies with a fucking burning passion.
It's a very malleable franchise. I said pick and choose.
It is. Yeah, pick and choose, and then you don't have to
do that.
Acknowledge everything. And
it'd be impossible to acknowledge everything. It's like, that's the reason Star Wars got reset, wasn't it? There's just too much. And there's too much of it is contradictory or doesn't gel or play well because it was different creatives with different visions for what the universe is. Some of them thought of it in just more literally than others. Others thought it as more like metaphorical.
Right.
And those visions just sometimes fundamentally don't mix.
Yeah,
like
we saw that with the sequel. With the sequels. They make no sense. Like, from movie to movie, they're totally different visions. Like, unless you plan out the story arc, it's not going to make any sense. Like, they went in with zero plan, and it shows. Like, you didn't do your homework, and you showed up on presentation day with a absolute travesty of a product.
Yeah, and I think the weakness of this show, like, just from the vibes I've gotten from it, are going to be that they're going to try way too hard to stick to and reference the core canon, even though they're not allowed to touch it. Yeah. When they could have just done, weirdly enough, what the Predator franchise has done. Yeah. Where the Predator franchise with like Prey just went, fuck it, we're just going to drop the Predator into another point in history, and we never need to reference anything else except for like one blinky miss it reference to the gun that is in Predator 2. And it's weird that the Predator franchise, the more schlocky of the two, is the one that handles like sequels better by just making them feel that they don't need to be connected to anything else.
Well, I think that's partly because the Predator franchise isn't as big as Alien. You know, it didn't leave this massive mark on film history or what have you on the genre. You know, because it's a dumb action science fiction movie with Arnold. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good movie. The second one's probably up there. You know, it depends on who you ask. But
It's not a movie, it's a franchise.
it's a franchise.
Don't forget,
Sure.
there are Predator games, there are Predator novels, like there are Alien versus Predator novels.
You know, sometimes I
games.
really hate that fucking word, franchise. You know,
It is a franchise.
it
Like, the
is.
Predator
You're right.
franchise,
You're
man.
right. You're right. You're right. I'm not saying
And-
you're wrong. You're right. But
And there's
sometimes
a lot of stuff about the Predators that are interesting. Like some interesting. There's some world building there, not as much as with the Alien, because the Aliens
Yeah.
had more stuff, but still the movies feel like just you can sit down and watch them without having to do your homework.
yeah.
Right? You can watch Prey and not have to read
I
like the
haven't
14
I haven't
accompanying
seen
novels.
Prey yet because I don't have Hulu. But
A Predator
I need to
fights
see
a
it.
bear.
yeah.
Predator fist fights a bear. Let's go.
All right. You sold it. You've sold it. But I mean, I think the only thing I could bring up now is like the advantage that things in the public domain have, you know? Like if Alien went into the public domain, we would see a lot more fun, different, varied takes on the lore and the alien itself, you know? You can reinvent something when it's in the public domain. When you have just wild ideas. That's where I get excited for things, you know. If Batman or Superman were in the public domain, what kind of wild shit would we see, you know?
Yeah, you can reinvent it in the Aliens case, literally, because the established canon of the alien can change based on what it takes over. All you need to do is just have it take over a different animal. Now the alien behaves in a completely different way, and its motivations can be completely different.
Right.
And you never need to explain it.
And with like the background of the making of the original Alien, you can go wildly into the cosmic horror direction, for example. And I think that would be really interesting. But you can do almost anything. And
Yeah, or it's like the hard sci-fi elements where the alien is just a creature that we don't understand.
Yeah. No,
You can lean into the aspects of like the hubris of humanity, thinking they can control something they don't understand.
I think the biggest problem that we have with a lot of these franchises is that, you know, the executives are kind of what ruin the creativity of coming to an IP like this to work on it. Like, you get a lot of people that are really passionate about these franchises, and they always come out of this, like 9 times out of 10, like, yeah, I'd never do that again. You know, David Fincher totally fucking disowned Alien 3. So,
Yeah, like David Fincher on record. Would you ever direct an alien movie again? I'd rather get cancer.
right. Shit.
Straight up. And that's the thing. It's like, which is a shame, right?
Yeah,
so you had,
it
Fede
is.
Alvarez. Hopefully their experience wasn't too bad, but I can only imagine when they were making the movie, someone was leaning over their shoulder of like, you're going to put an alien in it. So of course I'm going to put fucking alien in it. It's called Alien. But you're going to put the alien in it. Well, I was going to think of putting a new alien in it. No, put the alien. You're going to put an android in it? Well, yeah. Well, which actor are you going to dig up to play him? Well, I was thinking about it, no, we've got the rights to a guy's likeness, put Ian Holm in it. It's like,
And Andy would have been the perfect, like, have 2 Andys. That fixes
That's all you
a
need to
lot
do,
of
yeah.
the problems. You know,
just get a second one.
because like in my
do know some of
rewatch, I even liked the body horror from the fucking Prometheus fire or whatever. Like the first time, my excitement for the film just like dropped when I heard Prometheus and heard the theme. I was like, oh fuck, here we go again.
Yeah, but it was genuinely upsetting. Like when that fucking weird ass alien hybrid turns up at the end, that was genuinely upsetting. How fucking weird it looked.
Right. The in the IMAX theater, everyone gasped audibly and
Horrifying.
Like they were terrified of this, and like, yeah, it's a terrifying design. I have come around to acknowledging that, but I still don't like how it looks like an engineer. Yep. You know, that's my one complaint. Like I can get behind pretty much everything else that they did to try to re-cosmic horror the stuff in Prometheus, you know? I mean, they straight up just say Rook basically says we were not meant to voyage far. I'm like, wow, that's just hitting it on the nose, right there. That's really on the nose, guy.
There's some bullshit out there, and we don't want to mess.
Yeah, but I want you guys to go ahead and tell us what you think that Alien Earth is going to be. Are you excited for it? Do you agree with our takes here? We're lukewarm excited. We just want to see.
I'm big excited. I'll be happy either way. It's either going to be terrible, and I'll be like, fuck yes.
I'm lukewarm
Alien
excited.
Resurrection, the TV series. Or it's going to be really good, and it's like, man, I can't wait to get this on Blu-ray and watch it a couple of years from now.
Right.
I'm happy either way. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I like both sides of that coin. The worst thing it could be is middling. That's the worst thing any piece of media can be. Is just a 5 or 6 out of 10. Unmemorable.
Yeah.
Like Prometheus.
So Carl's very excited for this. I'm less so, but I'll watch it. And if it's entertaining, I'll keep watching it.
Give me the goo. Let's fucking go.
I'll probably just watch it just to have something to talk about on the podcast or in a video essay or whatever.
I want to see the Alien. And I do have one final fact to share.
All right,
I mentioned
cool.
Lord of the Rings earlier and Ian Holm. Do you know why the CGI in that's so fucked up? So that's patched the movie because the CGI on his face was just all over the place.
No, I don't.
The CGI was so bad. That's replaced. There's a new version they released, but it's because the mold they used to create that was from Lord of the Rings. Do you know when they have old Frodo?
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
They took that. They managed to contact whoever at it'll be a workshop had
but Frodo
that mold
wasn't
of
in
his
home.
face.
You mean Bilbo?
Oh, Bilbo. Sorry, yeah. When they make old Bilbo, they took the mold from that, and that's why the CGI model looks so terrible because it was 20-year-old rubber cast of his face taken.
Yeah, I
for the Lord of the Rings franchise.
Deflated rubber, and it almost looked like something that was just drained of all its fluids, and that kind of worked, but it still looked so uncanny. It was weird. Even rewatching it, which assuming that's the patched version of Romulus, it still looked weird.
Oh, it's terrible. It immediately takes you out of the movie. Even my dad turned to me, who doesn't really notice that sort of thing, and went, "Isn't that actor dead? Why does that look bad?" And you just don't want someone to be looking at your movie going, "That looks bad."
I get wanting to rehash some of this stuff, but in the story, there's no reason why a different model android is going to say the same things that the other model android says, right? They're the same model,
Yeah, just the series it doesn't actually it delves into more in Prometheus, the idea of the androids becoming sentient or pursuing their own goals is interesting. It's not really something that's explored much in the Alien franchise because it more wants to delve into the idea of the alien, but I'm fascinated with the idea of machines gaining sentience. It's a fascinating thing to have in a movie. It's why Terminator is a guilty pleasure because they sometimes explore that, but they never do it well.
Terminator
they've
2
never
is the
done it
only
better.
one that really kind of explores that, but Terminator 0 does and does a decent job of that.
Yeah, and Terminator 2, as you said, it makes no sense because the reason why is in a deleted scene.
Whenever you watch Terminator 0, you're gonna have to come back. We're gonna have to talk about that.
If it explores that aspect, I'd be interested because people don't know what I'm alluding to there. In Terminator 2, the reason why the Terminator suddenly gains sentience is explained in a deleted scene, and it's because the Terminator explains that Skynet deliberately sets them to read only when they go out into the world, and what they do is while they're fixing it, they set it to learn. They allow it to learn new information and process new information and use its processing power to come to its own conclusions and judgments. And that's why from that point in the film, it starts becoming more human.
Yep. And that leads to the famous deleted scene of Arnold as the T-800 trying to smile, which is one of my favorites. It's so dumb.
Great.
It's so great. I love it.
Well, it's and as well, there's one more bit of lore. This is one of my favourite facts. So do you know, Terminator 2, the T-1000's fucking unstoppable?
Yeah.
And to the point where the T-1000 would kick the shit out of the TX in Terminator 3, despite the TX supposedly being more advanced. Do you know the reason why, like law-wise, they never sent another T-1000 back?
No.
Okay, so, because the T-1000 is so fucking useful and so powerful, people kept asking writers, why didn't Skynet just send another one back? That it's clearly the best version of a Terminator. It's fucking it's invincible. It literally cannot be killed. Like, it's the most ridiculous thing they have. Why do they not just send another one of those? They wrote a comic where it's explained that the T-1000 is basically always set to learning mode, and they have a throwaway line saying Skynet stopped making them because they immediately became self-aware and ran away every time they were turned on. And that's why there's no T-1000s at any point in the Terminator franchise after that point. Like, even in the Sarah Connor show, it's a T-1001, where they specifically corrected that mistake.
Right. Yeah.
Just the idea that they created something that was too fucking powerful, so they had to write it out of the canon instantly.
Well, there were some decent comics after T2, like Nuclear Twilight and I think Cybernetic Dawn, that were trying to be like a hypothetical third Terminator movie, and they used multiple T-1000s in that timeline. It's
fantastic.
There's some really good Terminator comics, actually. I was working on a video essay for that shit.
I say, don't forget about the ride. That is canon.
Oh yeah. The ride is interesting too.
James Cameron shot footage for the ride concurrently with the movie.
He was going to do a Terminator 3.
The ride's best. It's great.
Yeah. All right. I think we should probably cap it off right there, since we've run out of alien things to talk about, and we're just talking about
I like
Terminator
the lore.
now.
Right? I like the lore, but there's too much of the lore that is stupid, and that's why I love it so much. Like I said, there's a fucking alien that all it does is just throw facehuggers at people. It's great. There's one that's like... It's great. There's a predator.
And look, I can totally get behind, just as there's a campy version of Batman and a serious version of Batman, there can be an in-between, but they can all kind of coexist. It's just pop culture shit,
Give me the thing from the Alien Extinction RTS game, where there's an upgrade for the alien from Alien 3, the Runner Alien, where if it gets hit by a flamethrower, it immediately explodes.
Right.
Give me that. Give me the alien evolving on the fly to explode when hit by a flamethrower, just to be a dick.
And if you fucking combine that with some of William Gibson's ideas, where if you get any of the aliens' goo on you, it reproduces that way now, because it evolved in those. Then the alien explodes. Hear me out. Alien explodes and then impregnates everyone.
Acid blood's way too cool. Because acid blood makes it so acid blood is such a genius way of getting around that we'll just shoot it until it fucking dies.
It is, yeah.
It's like, well, why don't they just shoot the fucking alien? They're in the future, they've got space guns and stuff. It's like, it'll just immediately fall through the hull and kill them all. So how do you kill something that you can't shoot? It immediately writes out guns from every storyline involving the alien.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I forget exactly how they handled it in the unproduced screenplay novel that Pat Cadigan worked on. Because a lot of that was just throwaway. It was there was a lot of fluff in that novel. Because how do you turn a short screenplay into a 400-page novel? It's very hard. You're gonna have a lot of filler. But all right. Karl, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. Had a great time talking with you, as always. Hopefully you dug the new format where I don't waffle and fucking forget shit.
Very sorry. I'm sorry for just being so distracted. Whenever someone talks about the alien, I can't wait to talk about alien extinction.
It's great. It's great. I always know, I don't even have to send you questions. You've always got shit to say, and it's great. So
usually about alien extinction, yes.
Yes.
There's not many times people say, "Hey, Karl, talk about alien extinction." I'm like, fuck yeah, alien extinction. Let's go.
I think one more thing. You've played Isolation, right? Alien Isolation.
Yeah, I spent all my time trying to push the alien out of the window.
My wife has been playing that, and it's been really entertaining watching her stream it because she's such a scaredy cat. She has to play on easy, and there's a redemption to increase the difficulty, and that's all people do to her. Just increase the difficulty and watch her squirm while the alien hunts her. She recently got to the level with the eggs, so that's fun. That's fun. That's
I just
one of my
like just
favorite
the
parts.
hauling ass against the alien. It's great.
Yeah. I think that's the best Alien game, just hands down. And they're making a sequel too, so that hopefully it doesn't suck.
I want a sequel where you play as the alien.
Right? Like a multiplayer
Like, give me
experience?
alien mode.
Like Prey or something?
Yeah. Well, there is like one of the Alien versus Predator crappy games where the first level is you play as one alien, and you feel really underpowered because it's one alien, but it's just been born, and you're in like a spaceship full of people with guns, and it makes you realize like, but you have to like hide on the ceiling and take advantage of the fact you can crawl on walls and hide in the dark. I thought it was really interesting. Of like, this is why it's so dangerous. It's like in a straight up confrontation, you near instantly lose every single time.
Yeah.
They did a good way of balancing the alien to feel not too powerful, but also very powerful if you take advantage of its skills, abilities, and unique attributes.
Yeah. That is cool. That is really cool. So we'll have to see. But before we go, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys Jade an address because she just jumped up into my lap.
There you go.
I'm sure you guys
cats
will
are very
enjoy
important
that.
to the Alien franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Very important.
My cat would be absolutely useless on the Nostromo.
I just like that Sigourney Weaver became like just an icon for millennials of like, she wakes up in her underwear, bush clearly not shaved, and just wants to get a fucking cat and leave.
Right.
So I love that summation of the Alien franchise of like, it's probably one of the best feminist movies ever made because 90% of it is a woman telling people that they're wrong and then being immediately proven right when the alien kills them when they say she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Canonically, Ripley's the only one in the entire franchise that obeys quarantine procedure. What's that say? The scientists
She's as
don't.
well.
Right.
She might as well have one of the most metal death in all of like sci-fi.
Oh yeah, that is easily the best part of Alien 3 is her death.
Izuna drops an alien into, like, is it either a bucket of molten steel or it is like just a ship that's taking off?
It's like molten lead or something, I think.
Izuna drops a fucking alien.
Yeah, that
like the little bit that's in where where the alien jumps out, she catches it. It's like, no, you fucker.
The ending sequence like is probably like, it's a shame that's not attached to a better film.
Yeah. I also prefer the deleted scene version where you actually see the alien jump out of the chest.
Oh, yeah. You gotta have
She's fucking sick. I thought it's supposed to start rotating when she does that. Like, get a few digs in on the alien as she does it.
Yeah, right. All right, Carl, thank you so much for joining. Thank you once again for watching, listening, whatever you're doing with the podcast. Carl is showing off his alien figures as I give the outro. But go ahead and deploy your likes, comment your favorite or least favorite part of the Alien franchise down below. Are you looking forward to Alien Earth? Are you looking forward to Alien Isolation 2, whatever that's going to be called? Or any of the stuff that's coming out in the future? We're going to have a ton of stuff to talk about, whether it's good or bad, and we're just going to have a good time with it. All right, so subscribe, ring that bell, do all that algorithmic bullshit, basically, and we'll see you next time, Space Cowboy. I'm Eric Malachite.
Cheers, everybody.
I've been joined by Karl Smallwood.
Thank you.
Oh, and before we go,
yes,
click the links in the description to follow all of Carl's stuff, because he is fantastic, and he is always entertaining to watch. So, yeah.